Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining Hosteeva's Unlock and Learn webinar series, where we are going to share tips and secrets about success that Hosteeva and other hosts have seen. I laugh about secrets because I don't really feel like any of this is secrets, right? Everything that we do and everything that I'm going to talk about today is truly what I have gathered from, 10 years, 10 plus years of experience in this industry. But I don't even want to talk about the past 10 years. Recently, as we were starting to do this, come up with this idea of this unlock and learn, I have joined every Facebook group that you can think about for Airbnb host, build STR wealth, Airbnb automated, Superhost, where should I list on? And I've truly been trying to read and consume what are the biggest questions everybody is having to basically have answers to these secrets. So number one, right? We are all seeing that bookings are down nationally, right? I don't think that they're technically down compared to normalcy. So if we say before COVID, but they are down to what we compared to see last year, right? But the biggest topic that we're seeing is why are Vrbo bookings down, right? Like Airbnb has gone down a bit, but not enough for people to be concerned. But Vrbo has gone completely silent for some partners. Or they just went from 90% to 11% booking rate. These are stats I'm just reading from different hosts who've written in these different areas. And so did a little bit of research right there. And Peter, CEO, Expedia Group's old CEO, Peter Kern, or he's moving out for a new CEO to come in, actually said in February that they did a integration of the Vrbo platform or backend systems over to Expedia that may have hurt Vrbo's ability to convert lookers into bookers. I am reading exactly what that article said, right? So what that's been saying is let's just kind of focus on listing distribution. When I first started in this industry in 2012, inbound sales at Vrbo, our sales pitch was that we were 15 times larger than Airbnb. Like that was what we were telling people. It wasn't even a thought. Online booking wasn't even a thing for Vrbo, and we were still so much larger, right? Shift to today, right? We now know Hosteeva ourselves get less than, I want to say 10% from Vrbo, but we get, about 45% from Airbnb and everything else from all the other 95 plus channels that we connect to. So the theme of this is saying is the problem is bookings are low, right? And we see that it's really hard to rely on one platform, regardless if that's your own platform, right? So be diverse and use a software. Hosteeva is one of those softwares, and there's many others out there, right? Where they make ease of use for you to push out to every different OTA that's out there, that you can capture all the demographic, the different demand shifts, or anything that's going on out there. So one, listing distribution. I say one, but I feel like everything everything goes involved in the listing distribution. So the next secret or topic that I'm going to kind of pivot to for a little bit is the pricing, right? So pricing, dynamic pricing, revenue management, yield management, ADR, whatever KPI or term that we want to call it is, optimizing, having the right price set for the right day based on traveler demand and supply in the area. It's a simple definition, yet a very, very hard thing to comprehend or to talk about or to not even comprehend, let's say to put in motion when every day is different. So let's pair this with listing distribution, right? So a secret to success and how to understand all this is to have a software. And again, this is what Hosteeva does for ourselves. We have a custom built software and how we operate our properties and how many other co-hosts operate their properties as well using our software. We push out to all of these different channels. We decide the risk of what these channels are, right? So maybe booking.com could be riskier than Airbnb bookings are on there, right? There's a percentage that you can put on top of your rates on booking to kind of, cover that risk that is there. And so each platform can be treated differently when it comes to what kind of traveler they're bringing to you. Maybe you have higher dispute rates on one OTA than another, right? Bring that into the rate that the percentage that you're charging on that. And all of this stuff should be really easily set up in your onboarding process, right? So you bring your property on, you determine Airbnb, I'm gonna have a 3% upcharge. Booking, I'm gonna have 15% upcharge. Verbo, maybe an 8% upcharge. On there, everything is pushed out automatically, and then prices change based on occupancy and lead time in the market. Again, moving everything to every channel for you. Now, what if you're saying, okay, this is a lot. Pushing everything to OTAs or having to go in and looking at my pricing, like I just can't even think everything. The number one thing you take from this today as a new host, right, or somebody that is only listing on one or two OTAs, go list on all of them. The simple push of the button to list yourselves on there, you should see at minimum a 25% increase in bookings that come in here just from having that type of visibility that is out there. Again, softwares that do this for you. I would never say go to Airbnb, Vrbo, Booking, Expedia, all these different things and sign up everything on your own. That's very difficult. For the sake of simplification, find a software that can help push all that for you. When we go to last topic that I want to talk about on here, so we're going, secrets, optimizing your Airbnb, how to get more bookings and stuff at this time is let's keep it simple. I was going to go to min stay restrictions, but let's keep it simple. We can do a whole nother webinar on that another day. But you're sitting here and bookings are just not working out. Like you're not coming, you've done the pricing, everything's there. You want to try and get your property to stand out, right? Now's the time to go get better photos, right? Maybe you need to go change up your staging in there. Are your pictures depicting like showing the season that your travelers are currently booking for, right? So if travelers are booking for 3 months out, and 3 months from now it is August, so beginning of school time, I'm sorry, it's summer in 3 months. I obviously have no idea what time it is. So it'll be June, it's summertime, right? And you have an area that talks to kids, right? Are you showing pictures of fun areas, a nice backyard where kids can play, maybe some desk study areas, the kids' bedroom where they nap, areas where the parents can hang out talking to the actual customer who is coming for this time, right? This makes things a little bit more fun for you. Go change the captions, change some of the descriptions and your headlines, right? Also, AI is an amazing thing, right? So if you're having trouble, like I have no clue how to it was hard enough to type my own description in the first place, right? Hosteeva's platform, we actually have a portion where you can go and use AI to help you, think of new titles or descriptions or any information that you may want to change. And that's kind of fun. And then you can use all that for social media, right? So regardless of, you are, 95% coming 95% bookings from Airbnb, right? And you are 5% direct or not even direct at all, right? I'm sure, having a social media presence and following and getting those followers to come back to you, not to mention, most of your travelers that come to you have some kind of touch point where they can go like you on social media to book direct again, right? So everything you do, don't put it in vain, right? So we'll sum up everything that we've kind of talked about right now is let's go backwards in this, right? So go through your properties, review your listings, see what can be changed to catch the eye of the traveler. For me, when I'm writing things or looking at our websites and I'm at a point where I'm like, man, really, I can't find out anything I can change. It's because I need a fresh pair of eyes. When I worked in my Vrbo days, I used to always tell homeowners, like, go to a family function, find different demographics. Maybe it's your 70-year-old aunt, your 13-year-old niece, your 20-year-old cousin, have them all look at your property and look at other properties in the area and tell you what they like about the others versus yours, right? Like let the world give you the information that you need to know to make these changes, right? Next is obviously pricing and listing distribution. If you are only listing on one OTA, right? And majority of the people I talk to are only listing on Airbnb. So whether it's Airbnb or it's Vrbo, or it's booking.com or anything like that, list on all of the OTAs out there. So at minimum, Airbnb, Vrbo, booking.com, Google Vacation Rentals, Expedia, Hosteeva, we list to about, like I said, 95 plus websites, which includes all the ones I said. Marriott's Homes and Villas. We also are part of rewards programs like Delta reward programs. So reward members can book anything that's on our platform. But again, there's so many options out there. And I think that one step could make a big difference for you. So we have a couple questions on here about risk by channel that I think I kind of glossed over. So the one question is, how do you determine risk by channel? This is this is one of those things where how do you determine risk by anything in this industry, right? It's you need to find the people who operate the way that you do and do your research. But at the end of the day, this best risk is going to come from internally knowing, are you new to Airbnb or have you not been? What have you seen, right? So we have a new client who just signed on with us, right? And they really were hesitant about going on booking.com in the future. And previously when they were on booking.com, 25% of their 25% of the bookings that came from there were ending up in disputes, right? So what we did is when they came with us, we also have a guest verification feature, right? And you can turn it on in different areas where you want to, right? And for booking.com, right, they have it turned on for, every guest that comes through there, right? And also a tag for their company to kind of go look at them a little bit more. It really is going to be research for the area, right? That's going to be the main thing. And I wish I had a more finite answer than that, but it's really going to see research. And I hope we can get more data on that disputes, and would love if anyone has more data on, which channel has more risk, please share it with me and we can kind of go over that in another one. Other question that we had is, outside of changing prices, what other levers can I pull to make my listings stand out on the channels? So this is a really great question, actually. And this one always excites me, but it feels like it brings me back to the basics that I forget to talk about this a lot. So I'm going to 3 things. We're going to go headline, photos, description, right? So headline, photos, description, things that we talked about. In your headline, talk about 3 things that would want the guests want to know more, right? So 5 minutes to the beach, large backyard, great for families, right? That has something that's like, oh, cool. What does that backyard look like, right? What does the view from the beach look like? What do they mean great for families, right? Because great for families are going to be different from everybody else. In your photos, have captions in all of your photos. In today's world, I think you can hear this stat like all over. I think humans have our attention span is like less than a goldfish. Nobody's reading the description. Like when they get there, like you need to have already told them a story, right? So in the captions, tell the story of the space, not just, hey, this is a kitchen, right? Like you have a little bit of space where you can kind of give a narrative in each one, and also use the photo order in your advantage. I kind of want to give a caveat in this photo order situation because I've been in every Facebook group I've been in. They're all talking about how the Airbnb or Vrbo AI photo order is not to their liking. So I really don't know how much control we have over it at this moment. But in general, I would say the first 3 to 5 photos should give the most beautiful views of your property, wanting more. And then it should be a walkthrough of your property, right? Also add a video tour, right? Add a video of walking through the property. This is so helpful, especially to parents. Photos sometimes don't capture those 2 steps you have to walk down to go from the kitchen to a living room, which could ruin an entire experience for somebody who has a 1-year-old. So really just giving those expectations. And then when you get to the description, bullet point the beginning, right? Make a nice little, 3 to 5 sentence paragraph, bullet point the information, and then you can load them with all the information at the end. But most people probably aren't going to get to the description, or in my case, don't get to the description until I booked the property. I'm usually like so excited. I booked the property. It's booked. I read the photos, kind of glossed over everything. And I'm like, I usually book with a property manager, Superhost, and book direct. But if it's somewhere else, I'm like, I'm going to get a confirmation that's going to give me all this information. I'll look at it whenever I need to. Right. So think of that process, aware of what people are doing. Any other questions? Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks for taking the time to, listen to me today. We are going to be doing this bi-weekly, so every other Friday at 12:30 Eastern time. I would love to have anyone who would like to join us. If you join the webinar, you are allowed to talk, conversate with me, chime in on any topic that we have this week. If you have a specific topic where you're like, you know what, Hosteeva, Talia, Unlock and Learn is the place I want to talk about it, let me know. We'd love to talk with you. So thank you, everyone, and have a great day.